gosh. My room is so messy. I'm gonna start crying. If something else falls, I'm gonna cry. So today I'm going to be talking about books that I want to read in March. These are mostly adult fantasies. I don't know why, but I'm like really in the mood for that right now. Probably because I spent the entire month of February basically only reading graphic novels, and then I spent like all of December reading romance. So now that's left is to basically just read a lot of adult fantasies, but they're really hard to get through because they're always so huge, so they take me forever, which I guess I kind of need. Like, I need to slow down on like reading so much. I don't mind it, but I also feel like sometimes it does take away from my enjoyment. I hate to admit it, but anyways, in March I would like to read, I'm probably not gonna get to this, but I really need to read Dune before October, which is when it's gonna come out. So I really need to read this book, preferably before summer, so I can already have my knowledge. I can move on to the other books because I know there's more. So I really need to get to Dune soon. And there's also a comic book that they have, so I want to get to this soon because if I end up liking this, I'm gonna get the comic book too. I'll have like so many editions of just this book. Anyways, I really want to get to Dune really fast. Another book I would like to get to is The Ninth Reign, and I need to get to this one in March. Like, I need to get to this one fast, okay? And I need to get to this one because first of all, this book is super hard to find. I found this book because of Elliot Brooks. She talks about this book a lot and she makes it sound amazing. So I really want to get to this book because these books are hard to find, and like I cannot find the second or third book literally anywhere until I went on Book Depository and the second book was on there. So I need to hurry and read this one and get the second book before it sells out, and then hopefully the third book will just pop up. It'll find me when it's time. So, but I need to hurry and read this book so I can get the second book. I might still order the second book, but I really need to at least start it so I know how I feel about it, because I do not need to buy books that I haven't finished just in case I don't like it, and I spent my life trying to find these books and I don't like it. Like, that is gonna make me so sad. So I'm gonna just try to read this one so then I can hurry and buy the other one. I do want to get to These Violent Delights, but I don't know, because I'm very much a cover person, okay? Like, I love covers, and if I don't think the sequel is as nice as the first book, it's gonna really push me off reading the first book. Like, the sequel to this book cover has been released and I don't like it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I don't like it. I don't think it's cute. It's hideous to me, and I hate that like books that have been releasing recently, they don't all have the same color scheme. Like, instead of them all being black, they're like black, then white, then red. It's that color pattern exactly, because they did that with Furyborn, and then I know that the Crave series is doing the exact pattern, and another series is doing the exact pattern of literally black, then white, then red. I do not know why book series are doing that, but they need to stop it. Please make your book series one color, please. That's all I ask of. They're not gonna get that, so I don't even know how I want to read this now. And then also recently there's been a lot of 3-star ratings, which is not gonna put me off, but as someone who's getting back into reading YA, I don't want to like pick up a 3-star book, you know? Like, but also I read Bone Crier's Wounds, which everyone gave 3 stars, and I like love that. So who knows? But I'm just scared to read this book basically. And I got The House in the Cerulean Sea purely just because everyone's always talking about this book. I don't know how I'm gonna like it. My sister really didn't like this book that much. The way that everyone talks about it, I feel like I'm gonna like it. I think I'm gonna like it, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm just like really scared. It's a really tiny book, so I could finish this like in a few hours, but I'm just really scared that I'm not gonna like it. But I really want to get to this in March because he has another book coming out that I really I think I'm gonna like that one. Like, the book that's coming out, I think it's coming out in September. Anticipating it, but I want to read, I've never read a TJ Klune book before, so I want to read his book to see if I like the writing at least before I get excited for his other book. Which personally, I don't even like if I don't like this book, I'm not gonna let that affect whether I read the other book or not, because I'm really excited for it. But I still want to read it to get a taste of his writing, if that makes sense. I have Warbreaker because recently I read Mistborn. I read the Mistborn trilogy and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to move on to Warbreaker now before I finally start The Way of Kings. Feels like this, I feel like I'm so much closer, and I'm so proud of myself. Like, first of all, I finished a trilogy. When have I ever finished a fantasy trilogy? When have I ever finished a fantasy trilogy? Come on now. When have I ever finished one that, like, that wasn't, like, as it was coming out? Like, and it's a huge fantasy series. Like, these are, like, 500 pages plus fantasy series. Like, what the heck? I'm a brand new bitch, I think. I really want to read Warbreaker so that I can prepare myself for The Way of Kings. And also, I have, move my pillows out the way, I started like an all white bookshelf, and I'm like obsessed with them. And you can see my WandaVision Funko Pop, so I'm absolutely obsessed. But yeah, so I really need to read this soon so that I can move on. So then by the end of 2021, I will be caught up for the next book. And I can finally get Rhythm Award because, as you guys know, I work at Target and they've been having Rhythm Award there. And every time I go to the book section, I always look at it, and it's so, the fan art on the inside is so beautiful. That the map on the inside of the dust jacket, and also my editions are used, which means they're like pretty beat up, and like I can't read certain copies because they're just barely holding on. So like I just want like a new edition of the book, and the purple is so pretty. Everything about the Rhythm of War is so pretty, and I need to read it. But it means I gotta get through like 80,000 pages of other information. So, and then I also have Ship of Magic, which I have not finished. I read Assassin's Apprentice and I read her short story. And Assassin's Apprentice was okay, but the short story that I read, it was like, I read this, The Willful Princess and the Bible Prince, and I loved it. I thought this was a great short story, and it's a great introduction to the world. I really wish somebody had told me to read this first, which you can. Like, obviously this is like you should read this one first, low key, and then read Assassin's Apprentice, because reading this one, but also I think I read it at the perfect time, because I was like, oh, Assassin's Apprentice is okay, like I like the author's writing, but will I like her work? And then I read this book and I'm like, okay, boom, I like her work. So my goal for 2021 is I'm just gonna skip to the Live Ship Traders trilogy because that's the one I'm most excited for, and I don't really care. Like, it's not that I can always go back to the Assassin's Apprentice, but the third book special edition come out this month, so I'm gonna be buying it. I enjoy the series, but I just like, I don't really want to read anything that like I'm not feeling. And I know that the second book gets better, but I don't know. I really want to read the Mad Ship, basically, okay? So I'm going to be reading this one this month. This one is thick, and the words are small. This is... How many pages is this? This is 800 pages. I really wanted to read this in... I might have to start this in February. Dude, this book is so huge. There's like a... Damn. But anyways, I really want to... I think I might have to start this at the end of February and then pick it up like in March. But I'm really having fun reading like big fantasy books right now. Like, I'm having a time of my life, low key, but that means I'm reading less, so it makes me sad. But I'm gonna reach my Goodreads goals regardless. I'm just used to reaching it in April and the beginning of April, but by the looks of it right now, I'm not gonna reach anything by April, but that's fine. I also have the Bone Ship, which low key I think is like a copy of the Live Ship Traders, and I really want to read. I know there aren't pirates, but like technically they're pirates, so I really just want to read about ships in the water right now. Okay, this one has a dragon on it. I love dragons. I'm obsessed with them, so that's why I picked it up. And then I also realized, this is a random question, but do you guys look for books to read? Do you look on Goodreads? Because that's how I find books I want to read. Like, I genuinely go on Goodreads. Like, I actually use Goodreads for its purposes, which is finding book recommendations. Like, I literally will go to a book I read before, and I'll scroll all the way down to books just like this, and I'll click on a book that has the most intriguing cover, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'll go back down to books just like this, and I'll just keep going, and I'll screenshot them, and that's literally how I find my recommendations. Or I'll type in Google like certain whatever book recommendations, and I'll only click on the Goodreads list. Like, I genuinely actually use Goodreads for recommendations, and that's how I found this. And then Robin Hobb reviewed it, so I was like, okay, well, if the queen Robin Hobb reviewed this book, then I must read it. I must give it a try. So the third book has come out this year, so I got the first book and the second book, and I personally really think I'm gonna like this book. I don't know why, but my heart is just telling me that I'm really gonna like it. And I got A Court of Silver and Flames. I don't know why. Still haven't started Aquaword yet. Have to reread ACOMAF because everything that happened in that book went in one ear and out the other. I don't remember anything that happened in ACOMAF. So I have to reread that. Then I have to read ACOWAR. And then once I'm there, I might as well just read ACOFAST. So I might not be starting this until like late March, but I don't know why I bought it. I bought the ebook copy so I would not buy this ugly book. But I was walking into work one day. I get to work an hour early or 30 minutes early because I Uber to work, and I like to be there early, obviously. So I walk into work and I just hear something like calling my name. And like the more I got to the book section, the louder it got. And I stepped right in front of Court of Silver Flames, and it's just saying my name. It's like, buy me, Mayana, buy me. 30% off, $19. And I said, okay. And that's all we got here. This ugly book. And now I own it. Even though I bought the ebook edition, which I usually buy ebooks edition of books I already own anyways, just so I can read one while I'm like going to bed, and then one in the daytime. So I'm not upset with myself. We all know I don't have the best shopping habits, so it's like, what's new? Whatever, who cares? And then the last book on my list is Legendborn. And I really need to get to this book. I keep putting it off at this point because Mika keeps telling me to read it, and it's like, I don't know why, but I find personal joy in not doing what she tells me to do. So the more she's like, oh my gosh, read it, you'll love it, the more I'm like, I don't think I want to read it now. I actually do that with a lot of people, like books I know. I don't know why I do it, but like whenever I like talk about a book and then people are like, oh my gosh, like you should read this book, I'm like, now I'm gonna put it off. And please someone tell me that's not just me. I feel absolutely insane. I actually need to read Legendborn because I'm actually in a buddy read with my friends on Twitter, because we planned this buddy read in January. This is why I don't do buddy reads, because I absolutely suck at them. But yeah, this is actually really fun. I want to do TBRs more, but I never like have space to film them. Usually when I film them is like when not that I don't have any ideas for the month, but yeah. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've watched to this far, leave a pink heart emoji, but the ones with the stars around it. And I'll see you guys in my next video.